Hello there, greetings. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, wonderful UpU community. Welcome to another edition of your favorite female-centric program, UpU with Ezine. How you all doing? It's 5 days to Christmas and 11 days to the end of 2023. Whoa, just whoa. I can't get over this. Oh my goodness. As we approach the start of a new year, let us take a moment to reflect on how far we've come and be grateful for our accomplishments, both big and small. We all have shown resilience, determination, and a commitment to growth in some way or the other. Now it's time to step into the coming year with a renewed focus and desire to elevate ourselves to new heights. It's time to elevate you. Yes, you. No, I'm talking to you. I mean you. It's time to elevate you. Yeah. If you want higher, you've got to come up higher in thoughts, in words, in action, indeed. Or like he said on the streets, if you want different, you move different. Change your style, switch things up. Any which way, all we're saying is elevate you. It's up here with Azinde, and I'm here to keep you company as usual. Let's do this, my beautiful people. Finding self, finding purpose. My name is Ezine Kufrekanem, and I'm your host. Welcome, everyone. The topic today is Elevate You, Start Your Year with a Growth Plan. In this discussion, we will be looking at helping you intentionally plan and embrace growth and empowerment. You see, the year 2024 is a good time to rewrite your story, dear woman. Take the time to evaluate what worked well this past year or this outgoing year, because we still have some few days in 2023. Identify areas where you can improve. This is your opportunity to lay a solid foundation for growth, one that will support you on your journey towards achieving your personal goals. Be kind to follow us on all our social media platforms at UpU with Ezine on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We are streaming live today, Twitter, everywhere. We'd love to connect with you and keep the conversation going long after this live episode has ended. And please like and share the stream. It's one way you help the ministry and help us to serve you better. The topic today is Elevate You, Start Your Year with a Growth Plan. Please pull in your friends, call them, share, so that we can have a robust audience and also have a robust conversation. May I remind you that all episodes of Up Here with Ezine are on our YouTube and podcast channels at Up Here with Ezine. Be sure to follow us so you don't miss a thing. We'd really love you to participate as always and contribute your thoughts and opinions to the conversation. So please stay with us as I bring up our very beautiful guest who is already in the studio, ready to do justice to today's topic. If you're just joining us, this is Up Here with Ezine, and the topic today is Elevate You, Start Your Year with a Growth Plan. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere. It's time to bring up our guest. Drum roll. Yeah. Our guest today is Mrs. Ifenyinwa Okafor, a certified management consultant and an IT professional with over 15 years of experience in building, integrating, and managing platforms and solutions, coordinating IT service delivery teams, and managing project timelines, teams, and stakeholders efficiently and effectively. She's also a passionate advocate for building wholesome, digitally responsible families. Ifenyinwa is currently the Data Center Infrastructure Manager at the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, and a coach at the Wholeness Parenting School, at the Wholeness School. She's also one of the co-founders of the Digital Parenting School and serves on several boards and leading impact-driven organizations. As a wholesome coach, as a wholeness coach, she has guided over 100 clients on a journey of rediscovery, redesigning lives, and rewiring mindsets to live fully alive in every facet. For her wholeness clients who are parents, it's a double treat, as she also teaches them to channel parenting to raise wholesome children and families. Ifenyinwa is co-founder of the Digital Parenting School, a platform which helps parents and guardians with the knowledge, skills, and tools they need to become comfortable, proficient, and proactive in the digital space and raise digitally responsible children. I like the sound of that. To impact her world and the world on a larger scale, she started the Godly Parenting Summit, a free annual parenting summit focusing on parenting from a Christian perspective. Ifenyinwa is the author of two books, Parenting with the Father and 52 Affirmations for the 21st Century Parent, and a special wholeness planner, which we'll be discussing today, Elevate You Growth Planner. She's a wife and mom of four children, passionate about impacting the next generation. She mentors youths in her spare time and enjoys reading and dancing and gardening. Dear listeners, everyone, please join me in welcoming our very special guest on the show today. Good morning, Ifenyinwa. How are you?
Good morning, Ifenyinwa, and good
Can
morning,
you amplify a
everyone.
bit more?
Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be here.
Good,
It
good, good.
is
It's
such
so
a
good to have
beautiful
you on
day.
the show finally. I told you I was going to catch you.
Yes, yes, and I'm so glad to be here. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm sure people are wondering, oh, this girl is all about families and parenting and then all the digital stuff she does and petroleum and all whatnot. What's she going to tell us about having a growth plan? But as far as I'm concerned, who
Well,
better to tell us about having a growth plan than someone who has so many pies in the fire, all cooking well, eh?
yes,
Okay,
exactly.
dokie. If you're just joining us, this is Up You with Azine, and today we're discussing Elevate You, starting the year plan. Hello, Elizabeth Ruth, how are you? You're welcome. Janet, you're welcome. Everyone, please make yourself welcome. Welcome. We're kicking off right about now. Ify, are you ready?
Ready as ever.
Good. Okay, so let's kick off. Tell us, what's your perspective of the topic that we're discussing this morning?
I love this topic. It's a topic that really speaks to my heart because the thing is, in the world today, right? Um, it's something that I don't know what it is that's going on, but it feels like you have to always put someone down to be able to climb up. And it's not necessary. We need to always find ways to find strength from within. And the only way we do that is by elevating ourselves, seeing ourselves as the better person
Ify,
that
you're
we're
so low,
striving
we
to
can't
be.
hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. So I said this topic is a fantastic topic for me because elevating yourself is something I'm very passionate about. You can't strive to be your best self if you don't see yourself as an elevated version of your present self. You always have to have that higher standard that you're working to. You always have to have a plan that you're growing towards. So this plan is so perfect for this time of the year because typically it's the end of the year, we're reflecting. You can't hear me? Okay, I can't even hear you. Can you hear me now? Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello? Okay. Ruth says she can hear very well. Isn't it? It might be from your end. Okay. Adia Shubukola can hear. Isn't it? Are you back with us? Okay, everyone. It seems there's an issue from the studio point. Yes, we can't hear her. Hmm. Okay, we'll be patient. These are the technology issues we have sometimes. Okay, while we let's know what mindset you came into this conversation with, and hopefully we'll be able to answer as many of your questions as we go along. Um, so, so everybody else can hear me. Everybody, can you hear me now? Okay, so that we don't waste time. Let me refresh back in and see whether that helps. Okay, can you hear me now?
Very well now.
Okay,
Apologies,
excellent.
everybody. We'll have to go now. Sorry about that. Yes, Ifenyinwa, so I
Sorry, I
asked
had to
you
mute my mic.
for, what did you say, darling?
No, I said I had to mute my mic. Yeah, it's better now,
Okay.
right? Okay.
Okay, yes, much better. All right, so could you please give us your perspective of the topic under discussion this morning?
Yes, so I said it's a topic that really speaks after my heart because for everyone to strive to be better, you have to have that image of your elevated self. You're not going to be able to be motivated and inspired to do the work to make yourself a more improved version of yourself if you have no idea what that version should be. You need to be able to project that version. You need to be able to project it in detail. You need to be able to plan for it, and then you start to work. So the work is actually the last aspect of the process. And so for me, I always say, try to elevate yourself to be the best version of whom you can imagine you can be, because whatever your eyes can see can achieve it. So you have to see it. You have to see it in detail, in very clear detail. Who do you think you would be? What kind of clothes do you wear? How do you speak? What kind of family systems do you want? What do you want to do as a career on the personal side? You have to have it all in detail. And then you begin the work to work towards aspiring to be that person. And one thing I always say to my clients is we have to be mindful of the fact that it's not just the result that gives is the result. Even the person you're growing to be on the journey is the bigger result. So sometimes even when you set goals and you don't achieve those goals, be mindful, be watchful of who you're turning out to be in that process, because the growth process might even be the bigger goal, the salient goal that you were not aware of.
Interesting. You see how I'm bobbing my head? You know, who you're becoming might even be more important than what you are achieving. Because honestly, if you become the best version of yourself that you can be, then it goes without, much ado, like they say, that you end up achieving the highest purpose of your life.
Yeah,
Interesting. I
exactly.
like your take on this. I really do like your take on this. When I was thinking about what we're going to talk about and everything and how we should set a growth plan, I just kept thinking about how, you know, um, we make all these what's it called again? New Year
New
resolutions.
Year
So we make all
resolution.
these New Year
Yeah.
resolutions. and then we make them in different areas of our lives if we're that sophisticated. And so we have financial resolutions, we have health resolutions, we have social resolutions, we have resolutions all over across every facet of our
mhm,
life.
mhm,
And then when we're not achieving it, we start saying, okay, it must be our village people that are after us. Or, oh no, they really don't like me in my office and everything. And we never stop to pause and look inwards. Did I grow the
exactly.
capabilities? And do I have the resourcefulness to become or achieve this thing that I want to achieve? So you just write for yourself, I want to be, for instance, the manager of my company next year, and then you don't
Mhm,
have the requisite managerial skills, you haven't grown them, you didn't,
mhm,
and then when it
mhm.
goes to the next person, you now say, oh, my village people. So
Village people.
I was really very, 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 very happy about this. And then also intentionality. For me, 2023 was my year of growth. I intentionally sought growth. And I can
Mm,
say that you're right. In the process, the person you're becoming excites you and helps you to even be more authentic and helps you pursue the things that are really meaningful to you. And I said to
exactly.
myself, why don't you share this stuff? Because honestly,
Mhm,
randomness,
mhm.
anyhowness is our style in Nigeria for starters. We just do anyhowness. So I now said, so when I found, oh, intentional, have a growth plan, I said, okay, so let's share this with women. Let's
Mm,
tweak it.
mm,
Let's change it.
mm,
Let's call women to
mm,
come higher. Let's call them to elevate
mm,
themselves. And
mm.
so it naturally fell on you. So so you're really very welcome, and you have a very tough job to do this morning, and I know that you're going to do
That's it.
awesome. So please tell us what inspired you to create the Elevate You Growth Planner,
Mhm.
and how does it differ from other planners in the market?
Okay, so the simple answer is this. I've always been a planner, thanks to my mom. I was a very, very forgetful child, and she made me always write things down. And as I grew older, it became writing it down ahead, And everyone who knows me says, "Oh, you're such an organized person. You're so, you're a detailed person." Now, to help my planning process, I've always used planners, digital planners, physical planners, but I found that I was using as many as three, four, five planners to do everything. Oh, you have a gratitude journal. Oh, you have the planner on your phone. Oh, you have the one, and it was a bit hectic for me. And then when I now even started my wholeness journey, I realized that I didn't have anything that would aid me with my daily execution of my wholeness goals. And I will speak more to that. And so I woke up one morning and I said, you know what? But I can create this thing. I mean, I do have a lot of artistic skills. I'm proficient with the tools needed to create books. I write my books. I do all the proofreading myself. So why not create this? And that's how this planner came to be. So it's a classic case of if you don't find one, make one. And that's how I got here. And
So
um, yeah,
again, you had a pain point, and so you
serious one.
needed to meet that pain point by creating something to
Hmm.
meet that pain point. And now that thing you
Exactly.
created is going to serve a whole lot of us. Up
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And the irony was I never even intended to market it. But one day I showed it to some of my friends. I showed it, in fact, what really inspired me was I showed it to my friend's 13-year-old daughter. And she took over her mom's own and said, Mom, go and get yours. Because she was so enamored by the concept of the book. She's already pushing me to make a digital version of it because, of course, Gen Z, they want everything digital, which is something we'll do in the work. But I still prefer the written one, and there's a reason for that. And you asked me, what are the things that inspired me to do this? As people, as individuals in this world today, everything is so fast paced. We are very reactive. You said something about New Year goals, New Year resolutions. Most of us wait till the end of the year, then we just hastily put down resolutions and then we start achieving them. That's a reactive way to live because you're putting down resolutions for 2024. Now, have you sat down to ask yourself, why are these resolutions? Why these ones? Why not any other one? What's the long
Mm-hmm.
term plan? Oh, I want to
Mm-hmm.
lose 5 kilos in 2024. Why? What are you trying to achieve? What is it leading towards? How are you going to sustain it? Because you see, it, the way your body works, the way the mind is built to protect you, even from yourself. As long as it's feeling good, it's feeling happy, it will try to mimic that process as many times as possible. And when you try to change that process, the mind, your mind, that's supposed to work for you, will work against you because it's saying, look, hey, you didn't sign up for all this stress, which is why you have the best of intentions, but your body sometimes betrays you. It's because most times you haven't done the mental work, the mind work required. You haven't grown your mind to match the actions that you want to execute. So before you even start the actions, you need to have been working on your mind. Even as you are implementing whatever actions, whatever resolutions, you need to keep reminding your mind that this is where we're going. So you
Mm.
see that before you even talk of the physical things that people see, the actionable things, the easiest thing to do is action. The more difficult things are the internal work. Internal growth is the hardest growth, but it's the most fulfilling growth, it's the most accelerating growth because once your internal is on point, everything else, like you said, once you're at your highest self, your best self, achievement is easy. It's easy. It's like a well-oiled machine. It doesn't mean you won't encounter challenges, but because of the mindset you have, because of the bigger picture thinking you have, you will overcome them or you will even make peace and find an alternative. Yeah. Isn't it? Are you hearing me? Okay. Hello?
Okay, I lost you again because somebody is interfering with my signals. Um,
Uh-oh.
could you try again? Say something?
Yes, can you hear me?
No, no, no. You need to go out and come in, please.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Could you say something, please?
Yes, can you hear me now?
I don't have you. I can't hear you. What's going on today?
Hmm. Can you hear me now?
Can you say something, Ify?
Can you hear me now?
Hey, Kate, we can see you. How you doing? Welcome to the line. Welcome to the stream. Um, we're having this conversation. Yes, we are. Ify, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Okay, so maybe we will both go out and come back in again. How about that?
Yes. Yes, I think it's better.
Oh, you can hear us both, but we can't hear ourselves. I can't hear Ifenyinwa at
Ah,
all.
I can hear you. I
Yes,
can
Kate
hear
says she
you.
can hear us, but I can't hear you, Ifenyinwa.
I can hear you. This is interesting. Um, what is going-
Yeah, Ifenyinwa, hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Okay, I don't know, but I think at this point I can't hear you at all. So can we both leave the studio and then come back in? Maybe that will work.
Sure,
Yeah?
sure. Yeah.
Hello, Ify.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Hello, Ify.
Hi, can you hear me now?
I shall we try again? Are
Yes,
we good to
please.
go now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Crazy. Oh wow.
Wow. Okay.
Ah,
Can you hear me? Okay, she can't. I can hear you. Hmm. This is interesting. Okay. What else is going on with this problem? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, she's even now her video is frozen. Seems like a network issue.
If you believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, and walk across the water for water. You feel defeated, falling on your knees and looking up for some hope tonight. You try to stand up, but you throw your hands up, like you no longer have the strength to fight. You've seen too many sunsets, too many days, ending in the darkest night. But on your own, you'll never know, you'll never know. If you believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, walk across the water, the water. Believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, walk across the water. If you believe. They say that all you need is faith, but it's almost like you lost your way. Took a few wrong wrong turns, took a few breaks, falling behind now, looking for grace. Cause you need someone to lift you up, yeah, make right all the things you've done. Cause on your own you'll never know, you'll never know. If you believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, walk across the water, believe you can.
Hi, can you hear me?
Great. Finally. We beat it.
Yes, we did. Finally. This
Okay.
conversation just has to be had.
That's the thing. That's how you know when it's important. It begins to glitch up and down. He's never glitched this bad. Okay, so let's just run before it.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
everyone. Thank you everyone who tried to help out. Kate, you're fantastic. Thank you so
yes,
much.
thank you.
And so I'm not going to stay too long apologizing so that we can run now that we have voice. So if anyone you were saying.
Yes, so I was saying that more often than not, at the end of the year, right? You just hurriedly put down your resolution. This is what I'm going to do next year. I'm going to do this. But the thing is, you've not established your why. You've not established your plan. Okay, so you want to lose 5 kilos next year. Why? What's the purpose? What is it working towards? Is it in line with your divine purpose? Because I believe that everyone was created to fulfill certain purposes in this world. And so if whatever resolutions you're reacting to, or because I call it a reactive way of life, when you're jotting down your resolutions at the end of the year, that's you reacting to whatever you felt 2023 or what year gave you, and you're saying, no, you're not bringing it into 2024. That's reaction. What you want to do is be proactive. This is my goal. This is what I'm working towards. I want to lose 5 kilos because I know I'll feel healthier. I'm working to running a marathon, or I know that I need to be able to have more energy and sleep better so that I can do other things. I can pick up more skill sets. You have to have that, it has to fit into a box that is fitting into a bigger picture. Now, if you don't plan strategically, what's going to happen is, I gave an analogy before the audio. Your mind is built to take care of you, to protect you, to keep you moving. What that means is that it will even protect you from yourself. So what do I mean? Have you ever tried to use a knife to cut yourself? You can't. As much as you want to push it in, your mind is not going to allow you because that's a self-preservation mode. So when you want to do something that stretches you, that's a growth process, the mind is going to say, no, we didn't sign up for this discomfort. We're not going there. Which is why when you want to lose the 5 kilos and you say, I'm going to go to the gym, and you wake up, the mind is telling you, look, we like sleep. Let's take another 5 minutes. And you have to fight it. So before you even begin the action work, you need to do the mind work. You need to let your mind know that this is the program. This is what we're going to do. And it's good for us because A, B, C, D, the mind needs to get it. It needs to get the logic. Okay, isn't there, someone is saying, could you reduce the music in the background?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's done.
So your mind needs to get it so that it can program the rest of you to work with you and not against you. And so your mind needs to know that, okay, we're going to do this extra work because, if I lose that 5 kilos, we'll feel better, we'll breathe better. I mean, it's your mind, it's processing. So when you're telling these things to yourself, right, it will work with you. Yes, before you act, do the act work, do the mind work. And then even as you're doing the acts, keep reminding your mind, yourself, why it's necessary. And these are the things you need to do on a day-to-day basis. Your gratitude, your reflections, what did I do better last week? What will I do better this week? And just keep reminding yourself why you need to dig in. The more you remember why you need to dig in, the more likely you will stay the course. In fact, what usually happens is when you do the mind work well, because your mind is built to take care of you and to work for you, it will surprise you and surpass your goals. That's the amazing thing of mind work. When you do that, it will surpass what you imagined you could do. Yeah.
Did you see me looking all around, all over? I'm looking for my biro. I can't imagine that I came today without a pen because I need to write down stuff. Everyone, I hope you have a notepad because this is really deep. Now, Ifenyinwa, let me take you
Mm-hmm.
up. Thank you so much, because what you've just told us now is that, to me, my understanding is that what I have been doing is more like a ritual. So it's end of year. And so we're about to enter a new year. And so just write resolution. And so my pastor says write resolution. So my father says write. I just thought that, well, okay, isn't it? I made
Mm-hmm.
5 million this year. Next year I want to make let me give a 25% increment or a 30. I want to make I increase it. Okay, yes, like okay, like me, I'm on that table you are shaking. I need to lose some weight. And then I was okay, I'm gonna go to
I
the
wanted to.
gym. And then I'll say I must do it in the first quarter, 10 kg. And I haven't really said why. I haven't thought about it. Why do I have to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Why? What is this thing that I want to write down now as my resolution? What will it add to me? What will it subtract from me? What will it even cost me to achieve
Yes.
it? Am I willing? Am I able? Am I in a position to pay the price? I don't ask all of this. I just write it
Question.
to make myself feel good. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yes.
Oh. And I'm
Yes.
sure it's not only me that is getting this aha now and saying, okay, I've been doing it wrong.
Oh, check out the comments. Yes, many in the comments, we're having them there. Kate,
Okay,
I
good.
love
I'm
your
going to
comment.
look.
Make
And,
plans,
and,
not
then- and, then,
resolutions.
and
I
then,
love that.
I know that I heard you say, can you see how confused you've made me? Now, listen, Ifenyinwa, why must we even write resolutions at the end of the year? Why
No, it
can we
doesn't
not?
have to be. Oh
That's
no,
what
no,
I'm saying.
no.
But the
It
practice is
doesn't
end of
have
the
to be.
year. It's almost as if
I have.
because
Yeah.
it's like as you're evolving in the course of the year, you will now be putting down things so that by the time you get to the end of the year, you already have an idea what worked, what needs to go, and where you should focus on. I am already
Exactly.
elevated. I'm elevating. Go ahead.
I love it. I love it. People
Oh
say it's
my
when you
God.
wake up that it's your morning. So my growth planner is not dated because if you wake up on May 31st, that's your
Mm-hmm.
morning. Start there. Don't wait for
Mm.
that tradition of, oh, January 1st. Oh,
January
I've missed it three.
31.
No. And then what it does is every quarter, because you break down your goals. Okay, let's go into the planner just quickly, so that people can
Have you
get
got
what
a
we're talking
copy?
about. Yes, I have. Oh, I came prepared.
Good.
That's it. Very friendly, very warm looking, you know. So the first thing you want to look at is this, the wholeness wheel. Can you see it? It captures, in
Mm-hmm.
essence, the five key areas of your life. It's your work and contribution, your family, your spirit, community and relationships, your health and well-being. Now, there are different versions of the wholeness wheel depending on who's teaching. I'm not the authority on this. There are many people who have their own views about this, but I felt that this was concise enough not to scare people, especially beginners. I know people who have 12 segments in their wholeness wheel. It's very granular as you want, but I just made it concise. And what it says is every time you're strategizing your life, because that's what this planner is about, most of us are reactive with our life. We don't strategize. But you want to build a house, you will call the architect, you will call the soil test person, you map out a strategy. You want to implement a project, you will map out a strategy before you even spend 1 naira. But when you want to do your own life and you want to grow, you jump into it. You dive into it with
Mm.
no plan, no strategy. So this is bringing you back to the drawing board. And then the next thing is, let's project. We call it your 70-year-old self. It's a common theory. Where do you see yourself at 70? Me, I see myself as the matriarch of my family. And you know that word matriarch is not a casual word. Yes, you get it. Matriarch is reserved for those people that their generation, everybody's hitting it, is making it. I see myself as someone who has served community, has served the world, someone who will be, who is a think tank when they want to be able to strategize on tech in families and all that. That's what I see myself. And I know that if I want to have lived and done all that, I have all the details written out on my plan. And if I want to have done all that, then I need to know what do I need to do in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, in 15 years' time, right? You may not even have the details of the picture. If the image is not big enough to scare you, Like if you are not looking at your dream and it's not scary, then it's not big enough. You are being too comfortable with yourself. But the thing is, when you have that big picture, you now ask yourself, what's the first step I need to take today to start that? So for me, the first thing I needed to do was get comfortable with having a side hustle, the way they say, right? The first thing I had to learn to do was learn to manage my time so that I could accommodate something outside of work. Because I always did this on a personal note. It was just something I did for fun. I never structured it, and I had to get structured. And because I got structured, I realized that some things that I was putting as 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I was achieving them already. That's what structure does for you. And so the Elevate You Planner allows you just write the highlights of your 70-year-old self in those 5 arenas. So you're not just planning for work and business. What do you want your family life to be like when you're 70? What do you want your spiritual life to be like when you're 70? What do you want your relationships, your strategic relationships, your friendships to be like, your networks? And for those of us who are a bit younger or who are struggling with a lot right now, and somehow you just can't begin to project up to 70, not a problem. Project 10 years, 20 years, but don't do less than 10, 20 years because it will not inspire you, right? And then next thing you do is you take your plans from that, the highlights of your 70-year-old self, and say, okay, what is the 2024 version of this? Oh, I want to be able to start a multi-million dollar company, right? And I want you to be able to, I want to build a coaching empire. Let me say, I want to do that for myself. And the 2024 version would be, I need to even register a business name. I need to get some skills. I need to, understudy people. I need to find a mentor that can do this for me. So you begin to put that down. Oh, for my family, I need to make sure that every year we gather during Christmas. First plan for 2024 is have a Christmas gathering in 2024 Christmas, right? It sounds very far off until you realize that you need to start getting in touch with certain people and you don't know where their numbers are. Oh, in my spiritual life, I need to, pray every day as opposed to praying when there's fire on the mountain. Set your alarm on your phone and to a certain time. It breaks it down for you. These are your goals for the year. And we've even put in more, space for those who have more goals than the space allows. Now, back to what Azina and I were talking about. Azina, are you there? Just to be sure that I'm carrying you along. Okay, guys, just a minute. I need to make sure she's here. While we wait for her, please, in the chat box, if you have questions so far,
I
if you
am
have
right
comments, please keep
here.
them coming. Great, great. And so we've taken it from your 70-year-old self, right? And we've said, don't plan for most people, they plan for the physical things they can see. Plan for your spiritual growth. Plan for your family relationships. Plan for your networking. So I'll give you an example. This year, one of my strategic goals was to network harder. And I put down my goals for this year. Guess what? I've exceeded all my networking goals for this year. I decided I was going to be in certain platforms. I decided I was going to interface in certain platforms. I was going to attend certain events, and I was going to meet certain people. I met the people I wanted to meet, and then some. For example, I met you, and that wasn't planned. That's the beauty of setting your goals. You find out that you always exceed them because you're working very focused, And then you bring it down to this year. Okay, based on what I want to do when I'm older, bring it down to the year. And because we want it to be an active plan. And what do we mean by an active plan? A plan that grows with you. You take it down to your quarters. So most people plan 90-day cycles. 90-day cycles have been seen to be the optimal planning time. It's short enough to keep you inspired and to keep
And
you
long enough for you to
and
know
long
whether
enough.
it's working or not.
Exactly. And so we come here and we replicate, okay, what will we do for 90 days? Because not everything in your plan, some things might be a Q2 plan, some things might be a Q1 plan, some things might be all through every day. Put them there. And what we've done is every month, at the beginning of every month, you have a quote to inspire you. So for example,
Mm,
yes.
wow. So even okay, this is even though it's not dated, You just know that after 30 days, you just give one quote, right? And that quote
Yes,
ginger us
exactly.
some more. Okay,
Exactly.
great.
That gingers you some more.
Great. Listening to you, it's quite inspiring already because the fact is, what you're talking about is trying to get us to walk from the end to where we are at. So
Yes.
if you know what you want your life to be like or who you want to be at age 70, the kind of things you want, maybe you'd like to be going to Seychelles, maybe you like to be a grandmother or you would have become a grandmother and stuff like that. Maybe you want to be so fit and everything so you can hop on a plane at the drop of a hat and be all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is
Mm-hmm.
you envision your life to be at 70, see it now, put it down now, and then break it down, bring it backwards to 2024, which is where we're going to. Now, it doesn't
Yes.
matter if I hear if you very well, if you haven't been doing this, but you can
Mm-hmm.
start now. That's why we're making
Oh
this
yes.
call, Elevate You.
Oh yes.
You can start
Oh
now
yes.
to, and she said something that was quite critical. We don't just wake up and start driving our cars up and down.
Nope.
We we plan what we're going to do. We plan with our mechanics. Oh, when next is the next service? When are you coming to look at it and take a check? And then in fact now we are now so work that even before they work on the car, we say check it. Let the checker, the whatever, tell you what is wrong with
Yes.
the car
Tell
before
you
you
what is
begin to tinker on it.
exactly.
But then you look at your whole life, your whole person, and then you're doing Me Too. So Kate is doing tomato paste, and Kate seems to be making a lot
Therefore,
of posts about it, and it seems to be going well. And then tomorrow I begin eating tomato paste. Is that my life? Is that my plan?
like,
Is that my purpose? Is that my calling? Can I do it consistently? Can I add
mm-hmm.
value to it? Can I do it effortlessly? Will it bring me
Exactly.
joy? Will it fulfill my
Exactly.
life? You
Exactly.
have to answer all these questions. We have come to that
Mm-hmm.
point in life where it's no longer about naira and kobo. It is about the wellness of yourself, your soul, your spirit, your body, everything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's time to begin to plan your life. We are shouting everywhere authenticity. You can only become authentic when what you're doing is your own. I can't
Yeah.
wake up tomorrow and become a wellness coach overnight. If anyone has invested, intentionally sought, read, become, and then I now wake up and say, okay, because I know a few things about wellness, I have metamorphosed into a wellness coach. And so therefore, and I'm a wellness coach and I'm not about to lose this weight I'm carrying anyway. How is that even panning out? So if you honestly you're charging my brain. And I think from the way we're
Oh,
seeing in the
nice.
discussion, we are charging the brains of the people in the comments as well. Please share, share, share,
Yes,
share.
I can see
Let's bring
it.
more
I
women
can
in
see
here.
it.
Honestly,
Yes,
because if
please.
we know the Bible tells us that we fail or we perish because we lack knowledge. If we have
Yes.
knowledge, we are better. We're already 50% succeeded because we know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
please pull in as
Mm-hmm.
many women as we can in here and let's educate
Yes.
ourselves so that we have knowledge
Yes.
so that we can run better in 2024. 2024
Ladies,
must not look like 2023 to all of us. Please
no,
share,
no.
share, share, and keep sharing. If anyone,
Bring
thank
your
you so
squad
much.
in.
Even if you don't say any more thing, I think you have set the fire in all of us, and we are going to be looking to doing things differently. So that new resolution you've already written for yourself, is it you? Is it your
Mm-hmm.
own? Does it fulfill you? Do you think achieving it will bring you contentment, will bring you growth in any area of your life? If they don't meet these things and it's just naira and kobo, bread and butter,
Mm.
then your
Mm.
life must you
Mm.
must have to elevate you and elevate your life to become one that people are praying for and looking forward to you doing great things because you impact them.
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
must be an
Mm-hmm.
impactful, resourceful person. You weren't put here for
Yeah.
yourself only. In
Yeah.
fact, that's the list. You
Wow.
were not put here for yourself, you were put here for other people. So please look
Yes.
at that, your resolutions that you've made again, and then
Mhm.
begin to turn them into plans. I like the fact that you
Yeah.
opened your planner. I like the fact that you showed us practically, but I'm going
I
to
haven't even
still
gone.
give,
I haven't even finished with it. But let's
yes,
keep
I
going.
know, but I'm going to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
because women, we like gist. So gist us this matter. Can you share with us a personal experience where strategic planning played a significant role in your own growth journey? So monkey see, monkey do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I'll tell my story briefly and explain how strategic planning came to be. So, I've always been a high achieving individual. I've
Mhm.
always had plans, even though before, I mean, I just used to have them. I was a typical person. I'll write it down. I want to do this next year. I'll be knocking them off. And I just suddenly realized somewhere in my mid 30s, about 6 years ago, I wanted more. And the first time that popped into my spirit, the first thing I told myself is, are you high? You are struggling with 4 children, hectic 9 to 5 job. Where is the more you are wanting? You know? Where is more going to fit into all of this? But I just knew that I was restless. And so 2017, January 1, I told my husband, I said, this is the year of Ishi. I'm going to do more for myself. You know, when they say do you, prioritize yourself. I fell for the hype. And so I started doing more things about myself. I would do this, I would do that. And I started planning. I'm a fan of Steve Harvey and I watch a lot of his videos, his clips. And then he said something one day. He said, anything you want to do, put it down. Put it down. If you go to the Elevate You page on Instagram, so it's Elevate You Planner, you will see that video. He says anything you want, whether you want to do it, whether you want to own it, write it down. Once you write it down, after a while, come back to it. You will see that you have started achieving it. Because as long as you don't write it down, you just may not achieve it. It will loom large in your mind. It will not take it. We Christians call it bringing it forth to flesh, word made flesh. That concept is very real from a philosophical, from a spiritual, from a practical perspective. Again, I told you about your mind. I give a very classic example. If I wake up today and say I want to buy a purple Jeep, I've never seen a purple Jeep on the road. The minute you say you want to buy purple Jeep, you start researching. Your mind has said, okay, priority right now, purple Jeep. There's something called your reticular activator. It's like a filter for your mind. It's what prevents you from seeing everything live, constant. Imagine if you could hear every sound at the same volume, see everything with the same. Your brain will be full. So what the reticular activator does is, once we set our interest, it looks out for the interest. That's why when you say you want to buy purple Jeep today, and you just start researching purple Jeep, believe you me, in a few weeks you will see a purple Jeep. It's not that there were no purple Jeeps before. It's that your mind was not
Just
interested in it. You blocked it. It was filtered out of your perspective. And so that is the power of writing things down. When you write them down, it now comes into the peripheral vision of your mind. Your mind now knows that these are the things we're interested in. So when you say algorithm, Instagram algorithm, Google algorithm, your mind is the ultimate algorithm maker. Once you say this is where we are going, the mind says, oh yeah, let's go there. Anything you are calculating, you'll be bringing things in your vision that are aligned. Those things have always been there. It was just not interested. So it never existed, you know? And so we need to, for me, what happened was I started doing that. I was working, but I now started becoming overwhelmed. I do this, I would do that, and then COVID happened. And all of us fell for that COVID thing. We're at home, we are online, we dance, we were all there, firing on all engines, you know, consuming everything consumable. After all, we had a break from real life. And then I resumed full-time work the following year. And my online self caught up with my full-time self, and I actually did have a break. I had an emotional and almost a mental break, and I sought coaching. And in the process of seeking coaching was when I started designing this planner unintentionally, though. I started doing the work, the mental work, the spiritual work, the physical work. And I can tell you for free that one of the things that I discussed with my coach was I would love to coach, to coach parents, and I always saw it as a very long term dream. And one day she said, "Why long term, though? Why not now?" That so there's a concept we teach in the wholeness school. It's called the 145 DGA. It's called one dream, four goals, and five actions per goal. And she said, "Okay, just for fun, let's do a 145 for your parenting um, coaching business." And I did it. And guess what? We suddenly looked at it and we're like, there's nothing crazy inside this now. And that's how I started. I just started. And the planning, from the time I did the five actions per goal, I just took it and inculcated it into my annual plans. And here I am 2 years later, coaching. I've coached women in 14 countries. I've coached almost 1,000 women in 2 years, yes. I'm affiliated with a very renowned wholeness and international school. I have two businesses under my ticket, and I am still doing everything I was doing in 2017. Like I'm still working 9 to 5. I'm still running my team, and I'm doing all of this. That's the power of strategic planning. Because now your priorities are aligned. I have my days planned in blocks. My week is planned in blocks. I have this huge vision board beside my bed. When I wake up, it's the first thing that confronts me. And it inspires me on those days that I'm just so tired because I see it. And why it's even more inspiring for me now is I know what that vision board used to be. In the first year of doing it, that was in 2021, end of 2021. It was one A4 paper. It was inspiring. And by 2022 media, I was like, nah, it's not enough. I took it down and I made it double the size. And I just, added so much more details. And I was like, guess what? This is 2023, end of 2023. I've
And
achieved
it's
more
now
than
a board.
everything. Yes, buy a board. If you don't have a board, just get a wall that you can stick it on. It doesn't have to be elaborate. I already know that I've achieved more than half of the things on that vision board. So I'm going bigger. It might not be bigger in size, but the dreams are going to be bigger. That's the power of strategic planning. It makes what seems impossible and far off real, achievable, and even things that you can check off your list.
Whoa. I was smiling. I went through the gamut of emotions as we were talking. I was like, oh, from admiration to, oh my God, up you, and all of that. And you're right. You see, I keep saying that sometimes we hear these things as cliches, but if we take time to break them apart for ourselves, for our own understanding in a way that it would resonate with us, then we'll see the truth, the deep truth that is inside it. When they say
Mm,
something like what's the cliche now that I was being talked about? When they say something like, if you want to do something, write it down.
right. Mm,
Write it down. You know, the carnal mind, the ordinary mind will just say write what down. But the truth is that when you put something down, you have conquered that thing. Now
yes.
you write them. So therefore you can do
Do it.
it. But if it's just flowing in the wind, build on an airport. You say, own an airport. What's that? But just write it down with your own handwriting. Own an airport. Then
Mm-hmm.
you bump into it every now and then. Own an airport. And every time you see the seed will now start growing in your mind. Own an airport. Own an airport. The more your eyes see it, the more your mind perceives it, the more you're developing the muscles on the inside. And one day you say to yourself, who says that we can't?
I cannot.
And at the moment you say, who says we can't? The universe begins to align for you because you now hear a conversation. The government wants to sell this airport. You say, hey,
Yeah.
there's an opportunity for an airport to be built in your village. You say, eh. But you
Yeah.
see, until you come into alignment with that thing that you wrote, you won't even begin to manifest. But if you don't even write it, it will just blow away. So what she's just said today is very important. If you don't do anything else, just write down.
Right then. down.
Write down. Write down. Like I say, the mind is a very, 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 very good servant. It does what you want, but it's a terrible master. So
Yes.
you must be in a position that you can send your mind. I want you to bring this to me. I want you to do that for
Mm-hmm.
me. But
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
yourself must first of all know who you are and know what it is you
Mm-hmm.
want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's
Mm-hmm.
very important. Thank you for sharing that with us. I just wanted people to
You're
know that
welcome.
it is not just about, oh, because I mean, one of the questions I'm going to ask you, or somebody might ask you, is okay, so why manual? Why not digital? And this is one of the answers why you have to
Yes.
manually do it yourself.
Yes.
There's some things that we
Exactly.
cannot digitally do away. We must have to apply ourselves on it, stamp ourselves on it for it to take root. Ifenyinwa,
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You're really making
You're
this really
welcome.
very, very interesting for all of us. Yeah.
Glad to
So
hear
yes,
that.
you're
Glad to
right,
hear that.
Kate. Vision boarding helps in strategic planning because when you
Yes,
have a
it
vision,
does.
when you can see it, then you can run with it.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
can see it, then you can run with it. Yes. So
Yes.
it does help in that planning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in your answer, you actually touched on it, but tell us some more. How can someone, an individual, tailor Elevate You Growth Planner to align with their specific goals and
Mm.
aspirations?
Mm. So remember we had talked about how you plan for your your older self, you dial it back down to 2024. Now let's match backward planning because that's what it's called when you're planning from the future backwards. Let's match backward planning with forward planning. So you've done 2023. You've seen things that you don't want to happen again. You already have mapped out your backward plan before, or you haven't. Now you're going to sit down and say, oh, okay, let's use the airport thing. I want to own an airport. But you've already realized that in 2023, Nigeria dollar has gone crazy, no subsidy. So whatever financial plans you have changed. Now, how are you going to tailor it to that your goal? First things first is from a very realistic point of view, you now have to go back to the drawing board and look at your financial plan. Some of us already anticipated what was going to happen in 2023 with the outcome of the elections. Yes, we might hope for it in one direction or the other, but the pragmatist in you will plan for all outcomes to the best of your ability. And so some of us were aggressive in savings in the year before while the elections were going on. And now in 2024, we're going to now review our strategic plan for our finances. Because guess what? You want to own airports. Now money, but nobody buys an airport with cash. That means you need to network. You need to network. So your goals for 2024 is to build your networks. Who are the people I need to be with talking to so that they understand this dream with me? Maybe like you said, you want an airport in your hometown. You need to start hobnobbing with the stakeholders back home because they're the ones that will tell you what's on ground and how you go about talking to the people that maybe own the land or their properties. You need to also even get in the space. You want to own airports. It's not by being in your office that you're going to own airports. You're going to go and start learning where the movers and shakers have lunch. Perhaps you might decide that once a quarter, I'm going to give myself lunch in one of the top restaurants. I have an aunt as far back as 1990s. She used to fly first class at least twice a year for a singular reason, networking. She will bring out her money, she will pay for that first class trip, she will print all her cards, and once that flight takes off, by the time they have landed, she has collected the cards of at least 10 to 15 people. So for her, that cost for that first class flight has been paid because she now has 15 new people she can work with. You know? So when you want to use the Elevate You Growth Planner, I had talked about how you do it for your quarterly plan. Now let's go down just a little bit. The view changes for your monthly goals is just a list as opposed to because now you just write all your goals down, right? And then for each month, you have something like this where you can just write down the highlights of every month. So it covers slightly more than 30 days. And then see this? You have a theme for the month, and a goal for the month. So that means, so for example, my goal for last year was consolidation. This year is expansion. 2024 is expansion. So for every month, my goal for January is always a default. It's reflection, because more often than not, from after Christmas into most of January, I'm reflecting, I'm tweaking my goals, I'm adjusting it in this comfort and silence of my home, you know. So every month you're inspired by what your theme is. And the good thing about having themes for every month, for every period, and again, you're not expected to be experts at this. If you don't have a thing, keep it moving. With time, you will begin to evolve to that person who can do these things. It's a growth process. So be kind to yourself in your growth process. You don't have to tick all the boxes. But this is where we get very serious. See? So every week is shaped like this. You have every week, you can have from Sunday to Saturday. Every week, you have priorities for the day. Very important thing. What did I do? What did I learn last week? What will I do better this week? So you've put down your big picture goals. You've brought them down to your monthly goals. So this month, I want to lose 2 kilograms. Last week, I went for one party. I now saw amala. Chai, it was sweet. I ate it. As I was finishing the amala, they brought cake. Omo, how will I say no to cake? So what are you going to write to yourself? What did I learn last week? Eat food and drink plenty water before you go for an event, so that even when you are seeing it, there's no space in your tummy. That's a lesson learned. What will I do better this week? That's what you're going to write. And so it's bringing it down to nitty gritty. You have, because I'm Christian, I have space for anchor verses. In every period of my life, I have verses that I hold on to that, keep me motivated. Even if you're not Christian, but you have things that, keep you motivated, put them down there. I have affirmations. Then there's something specific. It's a concept that is new, but I put it here because it's a powerful concept. Remember how we said we need to master our mind to work for us? There's something called crystallizing my dream in every week of this book. Now, what does that mean? They're not going to say, now that I'm 5 kilos lighter, I breathe better, my clothes fit better. You're going to write that down. So you're taking that image from your brain and you're writing it down. I don't know about you, but whenever I write something down, it becomes very real. You're going to imagine how the air is going to be flowing from your chest. You're going to imagine how when you wear that dress, it's just going to fit no anything. You're going to imagine how lighter you feel, and you're going to write it all down there. Week on week, any dream you want to crystallize, you write it there.
That right there is the concept of up you. When you've done something, no matter how small, no matter how big, you don't
Mm,
wait for someone from the outside to come and validate you. You look at yourself, you nod your head like the Agama lizard, you say, up
yes.
you. You feel good. You applaud yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
frankly, when you do that, it gingers you to want to go out again and do another set of stuff. And then you come back and applaud yourself. And that
Yes.
way, because you're applauding yourself, when the people start to applaud you, it won't go to your head. It's not new. You're used to applauding yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Ifenyinwa, take your flower.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All of these things that I'm hearing without you even saying it, I'm hearing wholesomeness.
Yes.
Without you using
Yes.
that word, I'm hearing wholesomeness.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
hearing a woman, coming up in a very rounded 5 feetness. You're so rugged that you're standing, that no matter what comes, it's not going to shake you because you already have the plan. You've already seen some things. And so if you need to adjust, you adjust, but you are just,
Just.
sitting down there. You see, for
Mm-hmm.
me, 2024 is a year of growing inwards, growing upwards, and growing
Upwards.
forward. Yeah.
Yes.
Hoping that by the time I grow inwards, upwards, and forwards, there will be a spread to be
Mm.
able to give a balance.
Mm.
And I say to most women, that the problem with us is that we have stuff on the inside that we are not dealing with, which is why we held the conference this year, Building
Mm,
Bridges from Within. And
mm,
that's also I part of what you're saying, that we need to deal with the mind stuff, because that's
indeed.
what really holds us back from really digging and excavating and finding out who we are and what really we want. It's such a sad thing to get to age 50 or 60 or even 70 and realize that you never
Mm.
did anything you wanted for yourself.
Nah,
You've
Kai,
lived,
so painful.
you're known, you have money and everything, but you get still one big hollow thing in here that is still
Hmm.
yearning for something. Women, isn't it time we started looking for that hole to fill it up so that whatever we achieve and become, we will enjoy it?
Yes.
So Ifenyinwa, I want you to speak to wholesomeness now. Yeah?
Yes. So,
I want you to speak to wholesomeness. I want you to tell us, um, how does your planner integrate the concept of wholeness as
good.
emphasized by your coaching practice? Because if
Yes.
we have wholesome women, they will they will ultimately do well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They will
Yes.
have good
So,
homes, they will have good
yeah.
careers, they will love themselves. We will not have the combustion that we're having on the streets of social media by women, and
Mm-hmm.
and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. So the planner does that from two perspectives. The first one is from the macro perspective, which is that
Mhm.
everything you're planning must accommodate every aspect of your life. So you're not going to be planning that you want to be a CEO in 5 years and you're not planning for how that is going to impact on your time with your family or how it's going to impact. So for me, for example, as I began to expand and stretch my boundaries, it became even more important for me to schedule, for example, my family time. So my family knows that there's a band of time daily that is their time, their the priority. I don't have, my phone is there, but most times, in fact, it's mostly on silent. It's even face down when I'm with them. I give them that time because it is their time. And we talk of quality over quantity. And so, from a macro level, what the planner is helping you do is focus on every aspect of your life. We've talked of your spiritual. What are your spiritual goals? And like I said, this is from whatever belief system you believe in. I'm Christian. I will always, talk about this from my own perspective, but I'm also, you know, global enough to know that not everybody fits into one box. But I strongly believe you always need to believe in a higher being for you to understand the concept of big picture and your place in the world at large. If not, you will always have that restlessness. You will not have that peace, or for some people, they call it Zen, you know? So you need to also think of that. You need to think of your health. You're going for big goals that require a lot of energy, require a lot of. Take a look at most of the global CEOs in the world. Many of them, most of them, are fitness gurus. Why? You have to be strong physically to keep up with their schedules. You can't keep up with their tight schedules if you're not physically strong. You have to eat right. You have to, so from a macro perspective, we're trying to keep you accountable to all the different aspects of your life. From a micro perspective, we have three angles from a reflection, accountability, and a mind work perspective. So, from a reflection perspective, this document is not supposed to be something you should be carrying up and down in your handbag. No, we are going to break that table today. When you are building house, you're not going to be carrying the building plan up and down the whole place.
Exactly.
You're going to put it down, the masterpiece, and then you come and do your meeting. You come to the plan. The plan does not come to you. All of you will gather around the plan. You will see the drawing. You will make adjustments. Then everybody will take their notes and then they go and execute. That's the mindset you should have about this planner. Schedule time to plan your week. I would say preferably Saturdays, Friday evenings, sometime when it's your downtime. I don't like to put a specific day because for some people, If they are busy weekends, Monday, for example, might be their downtime. But plan a 30 to 1 hour window each week where you will sit with this planner and you will map out your plan for the week. And then we talk of things like gratitude. So the only thing you're expected to do every day is spend 5 to 10 minutes every day and talk of at least 2 to 3 things you're grateful for. If you don't have anything to write, say, thank God I'm alive. That's something you must always be grateful for. But I can guarantee you that if you start intentionally looking for things to be grateful for every day, you will have more than 2 or 3. And why is it necessary to practice gratitude? Because when you live life from a gratitude perspective, more comes to you. You practice contentment. You are not, you know, bitter. You have grace, so that is important. I've showed you, sorry, I need to get a sip of water.
Go ahead. While she takes the water, let me just continue talking about gratitude. If there is an antidote to a miserable life, that antidote is called gratitude. When you're grateful for every single thing, I don't mean faking it, but be grateful. When you realize that you are on this earth not for your own purpose, but for God's pleasure, for God's purposes to be achieved through you, then you realize that you are at best a steward, and everything that you have has been given to you. And so you should be grateful. And then if you're
Yeah.
expansively grateful, guess what? You keep attracting stuff into your life. I am a very living witness of that. And if
Same.
anyone is teaching stuff that, you know how they say rich people don't tell people things and successful people don't tell people things. If anyone is telling you stuff that people who know it will not willingly tell you without asking you to pay.
True.
So if you're on the
True.
stream today, if you don't get any other thing, take away gratitude. You have 11 days to the end of the year. Just do 11 days gratitude countdown. You will see how you enter the new year on such a high that you will even begin to achieve left, right, and center before the year even starts settling in. You're already having positive things happening just because you counted down 11 days in gratitude. Try that one. She's back from her water break. Let's go on.
Yes, thank you very much. I love it. I love it. Thank you. You really did hit the nail with gratitude. It attracts more. It attracts so much more. And then, of course, again, like we said, you would reflect on your week. What did I learn last week? What will I do better? That's a wholeness strategy there. Because if you're not learning actively from your actions and you're not correcting along the way, you will keep making the same mistakes and digging in deeper. But wholeness is sitting back, looking and saying, okay, I did it this way. I don't exactly know how I can correct it, but at least now I know what I don't want. Now I know what I shouldn't do. You see, sometimes we put so much focus on results or answers. Even when you don't have results or answers, the fact that you've even identified a problem or something is progress,
Is a win.
is a win, is a win. So even if you don't know what you will do better the following week, the fact that you wrote what I learned from last week is a win. Your system is learning because remember, wholeness is internal. You are teaching your system to course correct as it goes, you know? And then we said accountability. We have a habit tracker in the planner. Every week, you can, be accountable to at least two habits every week. It has 7 check boxes. So you can even say, did I do it Monday? Yes. Did I do it today? And again, in line with the fact that they are allowing you start and continue where you want, it's not labeled Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's just 7 days. So it can be Wednesday to Wednesday. It can be what works for you. Do you. This planner is do you on steroids. If you want to
Good.
do it upside down, no problem. We are here for you. Take 1 or 2 habits and say, this is what I'm going to do. Oh, I'm going to pray by 5 a.m. every day. Once you pray, you tick it off. And you see the adrenaline that comes from ticking things off when you do them. There's nothing that matches it. I have 10 check boxes. I'm ticking, ticking. You're like, yeah, we're getting there. Even if you don't tick all, it shows you progress. It shows you progress. And then there's something we've done, and this is a concept I've learned from. There's a book called Winning the Week, right? And Winning the Week is a disruptor. It says that you should do less, simplify, right? There's another book called The One Thing. Pick that one thing and just focus on it. All the other things are if you can get to a point where every day your focus is just one thing,
One thing.
you find that you are even more productive than that person that has 20 things on their to do. So for us in our planner, we flipped the script. Instead of giving you points where you can put your tasks, we say priorities. What's my priority today? To have a talk show with, isn't it? Oh, to conclude the project that I started today. To rest. I'm giving examples. Your priority for a day can be, I want to rest. Now, there might be tasks you need to do under that priority. You can even have a sheet of paper or your phone where you're putting the tasks. But the thing is, why do you focus on priorities? Because at the end of the day, you know the things you have achieved. You don't feel like a hamster that was on a wheel just going round and round and round. You know that I did 10 things today and they were all towards this priority. And this priority is towards my weekly goal. And this goal is towards my month, and you feel better. So it helps you. That feeling of achievement is multiplied because you know that this box I ticked is not just a random task, it's a task towards something. If you know me, you know I'm big on Christmas. My family, Christmas and birthdays are a big deal. I plan my Christmas with that's a I don't even know what the execution level of my Christmas, that day, Christmas Day, is something else. I have a notepad that I renew every year. Menu, guest list, to-do list, this. Every time I'm ticking off things off that list, I'm feeling better. I'm like, yes, one step towards my beautiful Christmas, the Christmas of my dreams. Even when the Christmas of my dream was, I was going to visit people. Okay, what will you wear this day? What will this person wear? What are the gifts? I was just ticking it. And so, even by the time you get to that day, before you have even gotten to the Christmas day to implement, you're already having adrenaline from ticking off the things that you are doing and envisioning your beautiful Christmas. And so that's something we bring to this planner. And the last one is the mind work with your affirmations and crystallizing your dream. So while we're working on actions, we're calling you back to remember to tell your mind to work with you so that your actions are accelerated. And that's how we bring wholeness in practice into the planner.
And that's how we now say, we on the outside who have not witnessed your process will now say, oh, she achieves everything she puts her mind on. I hope everybody has seen in the backstage, all the
Mhm.
processes that you have to go through to be able to bring forth your thoughts to match your actions, to match your
Mm.
expectations, to match the manifestations that you will see in a given year. When when you're having fun, when you're really, really having fun, time begins to run away on you. Plus the
Yes.
fact that this our stuff today, technology, wanted once he heard that you were an IT specialist, he wanted to try you, but you showed it because
And
you
not to be
restored us
shaken.
in no time.
And not to
So
be shaken.
it took away a bit of our time, but time is really far gone. So I'm going to
Mm.
ask you, we'll probably have to do this again in January proper so that the people who are on this stream can actually now tell us what they've done and how they've done with all the things they heard.
Yes.
Someone here
Yes.
says they want to know more about 145. So I'll ask you to just throw a little bit more light on 145 and then give us
Mm.
your closing remarks.
Okay. I was actually trying to tell her to send me an email, but I don't know, for some funny reason, it's not letting me post a comment. But I will just
Okay.
say, I will repeat what 145 is. I can't go into full details again because
Fully,
this is
obviously, we don't even
priority
have the
work.
time.
Yes, this is, this
You
is
could actually point
proprietary
out to
work of
where
the
she
school.
can find it.
Yes.
Mhm.
So if you want to know more about 145, send me an email. My email is ifyok4@gmail.com. So it's ifyok4@gmail.com. And we'll be able to discuss more about it. You can follow me on Instagram at the same ifyok4. In my link on the top of my page, you'll be able to book free 20-minute strategy planning with me. I'm not available for the rest of the year. I already have my slots. But from the new year, thank you, Ayo. Thank you, my dear. From the new year, you'll be able to have more slots in my calendar. We can jump on a 20-minute call and we can just talk wholeness or parenting or both. You can also follow me on Facebook by this account if you're Okafor. If you're on LinkedIn, Ifenyinwa Okafor, I'm there. But anything you want to know, Ayo has been so kind as to put my email. So sorry, Ayo, could you adjust it to ifeokayforcoaching, ifeokayforcoaching@gmail.com. So send me a mail and I'll be able to address whatever questions you have there or point you in the right direction. Yeah. Isn't that you there? Can you guys hear me? Okay. Okay, great. I'm back. Sorry about
Okay,
that.
great. So I'm back as well. Okay, so now um could you please give us your last words so that we don't glitch anymore?
Sorry, can I do what?
Give us your final closing remarks.
Okay, as we close the year, right? I want everyone to give themselves grace. No matter how your year has gone, please tell yourself, I have done well. I survived the year, and that is good enough. Don't fall on the train bandwagon of you always have to focus on achievements. I didn't do this, this person did that. Give yourself grace. In this last few days of the year, focus on rest, self-care, reflection, gratitude, and just, you know, be happy that you are here. In whatever format you are here. Many started this year and didn't end it. Many started this year and right now are struggling to even be alive. But you are here. Get yourself ready to face a new year. And whatever you think you can't do, tell yourself it is possible. It is possible. I only just need to do the work. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ifenyinwa. Honestly,
You're welcome.
I have gleaned a lot by your being here today. I've learned a lot, and I can assure you I will come back again and I will personally come to learn for myself as well. Um, it's been an amazing one. Dear
One
woman,
more thing. Yes.
dear
One more thing.
woman.
One more thing,
You
please.
see, did you say one more thing?
Yes. So if you want to get this, it's on Seller,
I'm
right?
coming to that.
Yeah. Mhm.
Dear
I
woman.
have a surprise for everyone. So,
Okay, all right. Let's take Ifenyinwa's surprise first. Go ahead.
so right now, this is on Seller and it's going for 10,000. But because I'm so in love with his in there, I did a special code, a discount code that will run till the end of the year. You get a 10% discount if you put Izinnet10 in the coupon code so that you can get. So I will put it in the chat box, Izinnet10, and
Please
that gives
do.
you a 10% discount courtesy of this beautiful platform. And so before the end
Okay,
of the year, you
great.
better go and claim your coupon.
Okay, great. She's going to put that in the chat and then everybody, I'll repeat it when I read it because I didn't quite hear her very well. But this is where we wrap today's edition of Up You with Ezine. Dear woman, honestly, sincerely, what you've received today is amazing. It's just super amazing. You can be who you want to be so long as you know who you are. It all begins from you knowing who you are and who you knowing what you want. Plan ahead, imagine your 70-year, then walk backwards to who you are right now. When you now begin to walk backwards, I don't need to tell you that you should get a copy of Ife's planner to make your life easy. Listen, just tell yourself, even if you don't believe everything we've said today, or say to yourself, I want to invest in my life. I want to make an investment in myself. I want to plan. I want to do this thing that's saying, let me see if they are just jiving me or if it's real. So get a copy of the planner. I believe she's giving you an she's giving you a price slash. It used to be 10K, and I'm sure she's offering you a price slash. That's a surprise for me because I didn't know she was going to do that. So I'm definitely going to get a copy by myself, and then you two get a copy yourself, and then begin this journey. Plan your life. You're the most valuable person. What is life without you? Absolutely nothing. So you are the principal. You're the real thing. You're the it. And so you need to plan your life and then plan to grow. You can't be stagnant. You can't, we are all flowing rivers. So when we flow and we meet an obstacle, we do what? We navigate around it. Or we can also decide to keep flowing against that obstacle until we're the obstacle down and then we flow over it. But however, we just can't be stagnant. And women, we are fully wired. We came fully wired with the ability, capability, innate potential to do so much. So God has already given us everything. All we have to do is to now put the action to it so that these things can manifest for us to begin to thrive. I know the feeling of when you are successful at something is so exhilarating. You're like an eagle, you're just flying and you're feeling really wonderful. I want that feeling for every woman in 2024 and every man, even on the stream, every human being, you know. So let's not fill our year with activities. Let's wind down nicely in the next 11 days. Let's wind down in gratitude. Let's wind down in appreciation of the big, the small, the good, the bad, the not so good, everything. Let's just make a potpourri of it and give thanks for it. And then let's arrive 2024 on pure organic energy, ready to run with the plans that we will set for ourselves today. Remember, like I said in the beginning, it is not our village people. It is not the wicked boss. We're the ones who need to grow, build a capability, build ability, make connections, get the networking thing right. And then we'll see our life begin to soar and becoming everything that we're supposed to be. I could go on, but let's not, flog the issue so much. I know that you get it. You're all intelligent on this stream. I can see all of you. Oh, she gave you a 10% discount. That is huge. You better go buy the book now. And while we're at it, please follow us on our Instagram page. There's a lot going on there. We have the second anniversary promo going on. Someone is about to win 50,000 naira, and that person can be you. And while we're talking about it, someone is about to get a free 60-minute massage in her home or her office. That person could be you. And let me tell you something else. There's a Christmas dress. Someone is going to win a dress. All our phenomenal women are giving us stuff and then we're giving them back to you because you're such wonderful followers. You come in here every day and you share knowledge with us and you share space with us and you are allowing us to reach you and you also to reach us. So we are giving back. So make sure you go on Instagram at Up You with Ezine and don't miss a thing. I'm telling you people, I will not tell you again. All righty. So don't forget to be a part of our amazing promos. Yeah. Big up to everyone that is involved in creating this magic every week, starting with you, all of you on the stream, our dear listeners, everybody. Thank you so much. Our guests, thank you. The Amazing Up You team, amazing people. You all stay strong, stay blessed, stay lifted. Remember, it's all about you. Finding self, finding purpose. Share it forward, share it with another woman, keep it going. If one can teach self and then teach another, we will have a better community and a better world.
Yeah.
Until we come your way next time, it's up you. If anyone go again, up you. Bye for now, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Izine, for doing me the honor to inviting me to this platform. I love your platform. It's a beautiful, uplifting platform.
Up you.